Welcome to day 12 of the 300 movie challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of May 1995, which was Die Hard with a Vengeance. This was.
A surprise.
Yeah!
Yeah, definitely.
Like, okay, we obviously came in like this is gonna be like an action movie, right? So,
Yeah.
we have.
Lots of explosions,
Yeah,
car
yeah.
chases.
And so, I was thinking like Fast and the Furious kind of cheese, right? In terms of action
Yeah.
cheese. And
So
it was way better than that.
Yeah, it was actually really smart with the plot. Because usually when you go into these action films, the plot is like really bare minimum, simple.
Yeah.
Bad guy takes hostages, there's lots of explosions, car chases. That's basically what it is.
But this one, it played a lot with intelligence, which was very interesting, and there were a lot of traps.
Yeah, and like the plot again, it's like was we legitimately didn't know what was going on for
No.
like, the vast majority, even at the very end, because at first I was like, at the very end he was like, oh, we're destroying all the gold. I was thinking like, oh, really? They're going that way? That seems kind of like a cop out. But then it's like, oh no, that's just a ploy. He actually just took it for himself. Like, oh, okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that made more sense for his character. So okay, cool. So yeah, and then also
like-
just the characters, like especially
They're
the
really good.
two main
They're
guys.
really likable too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you get introduced, even though this is the third movie, you kind of like, and they introduced him right away. Like, he wasn't even there for like the first 5 minutes. Neither of them were there. But like 5 minutes after knowing them and everything, you're just like, yeah, I like these guys.
Yeah, Samuel
They
Jackson.
have good they have good screen chemistry, and even if when there was like a continuity thing, they kind of explained it like very subtly.
Yeah, they explained
Yeah.
it enough because like we haven't seen any of the other Die Hard
No.
movies, but like
Yeah.
the basic thing that I can gather is the main guy here is the brother of another main bad guy in another one of the movies, right?
Who died?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
and it's
said-
like okay, that's all we need to know. Really, you don't really know anything
Yeah.
else to understand this.
Yeah.
So. What are you
And
gonna
that
say? Tim?
said, the guy was really smart.
Yeah.
'Cause he also played the audience too
Mhm.
and stuff.
He's a
'Cause-
really good villain.
Yeah, he's a really, really good villain because during like the second phone call, I think he he played the audience by pretending that he wasn't interested in gold, that this was just for vengeance and everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't even think of that. Right.
So
Yeah.
then it's just like, okay, so he's doing this as a vengeance and he's trying to actually just kill people. But it's really confusing because later on you see the dump trucks and you're like, okay, well, what is he going to do with these dump trucks and stuff?
Yeah, and then like when we kind of all figured out what was going on with that, we were just like, oh, like it was just like that kind of.
Yeah.
He actually
It was-
didn't intend to really hurt anyone. It was an elaborate scheme
Yeah,
to get
it was a means to an end.
Yeah.
the bank.
Yeah, so it was really clever and like I really the characters the two main guys, especially Samuel Jackson, were just like really entertaining to watch.
I love him.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like thinking back to Pulp Fiction, like when I knew he was in that movie, so I was thinking Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction would be more like the Samuel Jackson in this movie, right?
Yeah.
He was honestly a
Yeah.
bit more subdued in Pulp Fiction, which is like it wasn't bad, it was just not what I expected, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm honestly tempted to not watch the previous two ones. I was
This
just
is a big surprise to all of us.
yeah, I
Yeah.
just thought it'd be like, I expected it to be like, it was kind of stupid, but overall enjoyed it for its stupidity, right? But
Yeah.
like, but it wasn't. It wasn't even that stupid. So yeah, I really like this actually.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
actually watch this again just
Yeah.
to be like, oh, okay, now I can see like what's gonna happen, and you can like find all the hints and clues and stuff to
Yeah,
it
no, I
too.
want to see like what the foreshadowing is of stuff. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
We could definitely like watch this again if we watch like a really bad movie later on. We can be like, okay, let's go watch a smart movie now.
Yeah, who would have
I
thought
never-
this is the smart one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have never thought that this would be considered the smart movie.
I also appreciate how like the violence is very minimal. They don't really show blood unless they must.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Because you would also think for like for instance, for Interview with a Vampire, they just overdid it completely with the whole like fighting thing and
Right.
stuff. But here, they actually just focused mainly on the plot and the riddles and stuff, and the action was the violence was kind of like a minor point, which I really enjoyed too.
Yeah, it was appropriate levels of violence, right? It's,
Yeah.
It's not like you see these guys all like, oh, they're fighting super hard, and then they come away and they look totally fine, right? In some movies.
Yeah.
So it's not like that, but at the same time, it's not like, oh, I'm, slashing your face off, right? So it's just, it was a nice kind of, for an R-rated action movie, I would say this is pretty much ideal in terms of that, right?
Yeah, I think most of it was from the swearing and like the
Oh, yeah.
that one part where it
scene.
was like really blurry anyway, so that was totally okay.
That and that last random part with the villain and his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, that came out, that was kind of random.
They didn't really
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah,
That really was not needed.
But it's like
I
extremely
think
like
I guess- I
such
think
a
the-
small thing.
Yeah, I think the idea was that, like, he figured that he won, and now he can just do whatever he wants, kind of.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it. Yeah, it is unnecessary, but I get it. Oh, wait, there was
That's
one.
what that girl did not have a single
Oh,
line.
yeah, that was kind of
That's
weird.
another
She
thing
said
that kind of
nothing.
bothered me.
I mean, she's not important, and they don't.
She's
exactly,
not important,
They don't really
which
play
I
her
guess I
up. They don't
understand.
really play her up as important. I mean, they
Yeah.
kind of do a little bit, but I don't know. Not. I didn't feel like ripped off or anything.
Yeah,
So
it's not like a significant bad thing. It's just a kind of
No.
like odd tidbit that's thrown in there.
Yeah. Oh, and one
Yeah.
thing about the action actually is that like, it's not like as ridiculous as I thought it was going to be, and I mean that's a good
Yeah.
thing actually. Like I was
Yeah.
expecting,
Yeah.
like Fast and Furious kind of action where you just sit back and you're like, no, like everyone would be dead immediately, right? And
Exactly.
there's some of that, but there's not a lot. The biggest one is the thing where they were climbing on the wire onto the boat and then fell.
Yeah, that
Um,
was
That
probably
and then the one with the high water pressure.
Oh
too,
yeah, the
from
water when he's like in the tunnel and somehow like stays
not
holding
physics.
on. I'm like, nah, that wouldn't happen. But again, like if that's it, like that's pretty good. There's not like someone
Yeah.
jumping over a freeway overpass to grab someone else in midair, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
jumping out of a no. Okay, this is what happens in Fast and Furious 6, which is so. This is not a spoiler because this is actually not a movie we'll be watching later, so I can say this. So they're on a freeway and there's like a 10-foot gap between both sides over water, and there's two guys driving cars in opposite directions on opposite sides, and basically one person gets like I think blown out of one of the cars over towards the divider. And then someone else jumps out of their car, grabs the person in midair, and they land on the other side okay.
what?
And I'm like, bullshit. Like, not like arcade, no. Like, there was nothing that, like, ridiculously stupid, right?
Oh,
So,
I
you
know.
know, and
If
yeah,
anything, it was just like,
It would be a small stretch.
right.
yeah. I think if anything, it's just that the amount of time, like the amount of injuries that they had, probably would have been a bit more severe.
Yeah,
But-
it would have definitely taken maybe a couple of days if they got bashed around like that, but
Well,
it's
yeah.
not
But other
that
than that,
bad.
It was reasonable and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like they came away, totally fine from it all.
Yeah.
Which I feel like other movies would, like, tend to do.
Yeah. And the tension building in this movie is really, really, really good.
Yeah, it is, actually.
And also, like, the pacing is good, too.
Yeah.
I never felt like it was rushed or that it was too long, really.
No.
No, it was like very well paced, and all the cuts, like the cuts between like the two storylines, that was very well done too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
We
I can't
are
really-
genuinely surprised.
Yeah, I can't even really think of anything that was, like, bad with it.
Yeah,
No.
like
I can't think of.
I actually like this a lot.
I like this a lot too.
Yeah, so... Imagine that.
We became diehard fans.
Let's go watch the other two movies.
Yeah, I also, we did look up the alternate ending, because I'd heard about the alternate ending.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how much I like that, because I get the kind of idea behind it is that, like, he kind of, turns the tables back on that guy and gives him the riddles and stuff. But I don't know, it did seem kind of, like, it was on YouTube, and I was looking at YouTube comments saying, like, this feels really out of character. And I'm like, yeah, it
I like
does.
the original ending better.
Yeah.
That
So-
and Samuel L. Samuel Jackson is in the.
Yeah. So, that's something. Although also I noticed that in the comments, people were saying like there's a fourth and even a fifth one, and
Oh, really?
but those are apparently not good.
Oh.
So just 1, 2, and 3, and it ends with
Apparently,
3
yeah.
is what people say.
Someone said literally like Die Hard should end it at 3 or something. Like their others don't count. So at least we can know about that. But yeah, this was really good.
Finally,
Yeah, after a string of
Yeah, we got a
bad
good,
to mediocre.
a good uphill slope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the
Good.
next one, oh yeah, actually the next,
Yeah.
well, the next one, and I don't know, but the one after the next one, you two like. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but yeah. So hopefully things are looking good. I mean, then again, from what I gathered, it seemed like most of the movies that aren't very good are like January, February, that kind of time. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
but well. That's that. That was this, and it was good. So
Recommended.
yeah. I
I
guess it most unexpectedly good so far
Yeah.
as this
Yeah,
one.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Considering how low our expectations were.
Yeah. So yeah, go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
You don't even have to watch the first two.
No.
They give
No.
you
I mean-
the context you need, and you just run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
pretty
you're good.
much. You take off running, literally.
Yeah, pretty much. It literally opens with the mall blowing up or something. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was that, and we'll see you for the next one,
Yeah.
number 13.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's appropriate.
Yeah. Very, very, very
Obvious hint
appropriate.
is obvious, but yeah, whatever.
It's okay.
It's okay. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.